Alright, welcome to RRL F2 Season 3 Race 4 at the Monaco Grand Prix Monte Carlo. Probably the most famous circuit on the F1 calendar, and we should be in for a very exciting race. I mean, as always, Monaco pretty much always delivers in league racing. It's either the most boring or the most exciting race you've ever seen. Hopefully we will have the second one of those options today, and we will have an exciting race here at Monaco. Yeah, we've got a 10-car grid for today, so well, still not exactly what we want, especially compared to the F1 grid, which usually is full or close to full. But I guess it's better than we had the last couple of weeks at least. So yeah, here we are then. We are just now waiting for the drivers to start their one-shot qualifying. As always in Formula 2, drivers only have one opportunity at their perfect lap time, wanting to get themselves onto pole position. So we will see which driver will take the honors of starting from pole at the crown jewel, as it's often referred to in the F1 calendar, or F2 calendar in this case, although we are using the same calendar for both F1 and F2. So you were seeing Monaco raced in F1 on Saturday. We will go on board with, let's go with Dean Phelan. He won in France. Yeah, France last week. Let's see if we can repeat this performance once again. This time here at Monaco. Obviously a much more difficult track than France. We've already seen the first time in Pixel of Chaos. This is probably either put in the wall or he's retired on track after getting a well-done lap time. I would assume one of those two. So yeah, staying on board here as we go through the hairpin. The slowest section on the entire F1 calendar, I would say. At least I believe it is. Right now we've got Dean Phelan and Sully fighting it out for pole position. And, I mean, well, if we look at the standings, we actually have a pretty exciting title fight. We've got Gromit Cup on 45, Sean Moore on 43, Sully on 40, Alex the G on 31, and then Dean Phelan on 31, Folenol on 29, and Aldrich as well on 25. So we've got a mega close title fight. Pretty much anyone on the grid could still win it at this point. Right now it looks like Dean Phelan is on his way to pole position as he is in P1, although he clips the exit of Ruskas with this rear tire. That could have cost him some time, perhaps a position as well. Where will he end up? Dean Phelan across the line, and it's pole position for him, 19.7, second place for Sean Moore with 20.3, Sully with 20.5 in P3, Gilles Valentine 21.2, P4, Gomet Cup P5 with 22.0, Aldrich P3 with 23.5, Sepp with a 29.1. He must have made a mistake somewhere, and then somebody else, whose name I wasn't able to read anymore, behind him in P8, and also two invalidations, or two failures on the left hand, which I believe were Sufjan and Pixel of Chaos. There we go. Yeah, full and load with a 34.3, 14 seconds off the pace. So he, I would assume he made a mistake somewhere. Yeah, Dean Phelan starting the scoring once again, gaining another 4 points. Just seeded last week, taking pole position and putting himself in the prime spot to win this race. I mean, especially at Monaco, the starting position is so crucial because passing is essentially, well, especially in F1, well, in Formula 2 it's not as difficult, or not as impossible, but still very difficult to make a move around here. Because Formula 2 cars are a bit less wide than F1 cars, but still, still pretty chunky. You will still struggle to find a gap around this iconic track. I mean, this track, we all know why it's on the calendar. It isn't suited for F1 by any means. It's just on the calendar for heritage reasons at this point. And honestly, I'm all for it. Throw a curveball into the mix once per season, like on a track like this, which is just so different from everything else, which I really like about Monaco. But obviously, it can lead to boring races, and hopefully, especially in league racing, from my experience, actually it leads to chaos. Which, well, for a commentator, lovely. As a driver, you hate it. I hate the chaos you sometimes have around here, while driving myself. But as a commentator, you just love to see it. It's nothing better than just having a bit of chaos everywhere around the field. Drivers going on the formation lap. Let's see what the tire strategies are. We've got everybody starting on the soft compound tire, which I believe actually the harder compound tire. I believe It's super softs and softs. I should know this, we just saw in qualifying on the... Yeah, everybody's starting on the harder compound tires. So we've got super softs and softs for this track. And literally the entire grid's opted to start on the soft compound tire, not on the super soft. Nobody going for something different, which is very interesting. I mean, on top of that, championship leader Grommet Cup, I believe, is championship leader, yes, is down in P5, so he's not at the best of qualifying. Although, well, saying he's championship leader, he is 2 points ahead of P2 and yeah, 5 points ahead of P3. It's crazy close. I mean, he's only 14 points ahead of P5. I am not kidding when I say anyone can win this title at this stage in the season. And we're almost halfway through already. That is the benefit of having such short seasons. You immediately start thinking of the title fight from the first race onwards. You are doing the calculations, wanting to see who might be in a realistic chance of winning the title. But yeah, Dean Finner now actually he is gonna run the formation lap much faster than some of the guys in the back. I mean, you can see Seb here and Pixel of Chaos are actually on AI mode, I believe. Let me check. Yep, Seb is on AI mode, so is Pixel of Chaos, so is Sufjan as well. We've got a lot of cars on AI mode for some reason. Hopefully they will be back for the actual race, because that should not be happening. They should be driving themselves. We'll focus on the front here, as this race start will be crucial. It's in the marshals waving the green flag for whatever reason. So this race start could already decide who will win this race. 21 lap race, and it might all be decided by the time we get to turn 1. This is the magic of Monaco. Just waiting for Sufjan to load in, and then we'll be ready to start the race. There we go. We're gonna have the 5 red lights in a second. And there we go, 5 red lights are on. And it's lights out, and away we go. Race started here at Monaco. Looking like a good start from Dean Feenan. Sean Wool dropping back though. Sully on his inside. Going into turn 1. Sully takes this P2. Dean Feenan keeps the lead. Seb up into P4. Brilliant start from him. Jules Valentine dropping down to P5 there for Grommet Cup in P6 now. Seb up into P3. He's gained... Where did he start? How's he done that? But Sean Wool coming back at him there. And Seb has to back out. Where is... Position changes. There we go, position changes. Seb has gained 3 places off the start. Grommet Cup now fighting Jules Valentine over P5. We've got yellow flags in the background. Grommet Cup and Jules Valentine going side by side into the hairpin. This cannot go well. Sufjan and Pixel of Chaos as well. No, Sufjan and Fullenlow, sorry. Still Grommet Cup and Jules Valentine fighting it out here for P5. This is an awesome battle between those two. They're giving it everything, but now Jules Valentine loses an exit. Aldrich now having a look perhaps, but he seems to be a bit too far behind. Doesn't quite have the momentum to go for a move into the chicane. Although he's having a little luck, but no, he was just too far behind there. Meanwhile, Sully actually has taken lead. I did not even notice. Sully has taken lead from Dean Feenan. He has gained 2 places off the start and put himself into the race lead. 3-second time penalty for Grommet Cup already, and he's now trying to make a move on Seb as they're going side by side. Just look at this battling right here. So brave, and there's contact been made at Raskas. This is just what happened at Monaco. I mean, they both left each other's space, but yeah, sometimes contact is unavoidable with walls this close. It's difficult to leave the space. Sully with the time penalty as well. Jules Valentine and Sufjan in the pit lane getting a wing change, both of them. Pixel of Chaos as well. But yeah, Sully having a penalty could really affect this race. Pixel of Chaos retiring from the race as well in the pit lane, which is a decision I don't really understand. I mean, there were plenty of other cars in the pit lane. It's a one stop anyway, so it would have gotten back in the field. Plus, you still score points if you just finish the race. Ah well. Well, Seb holding up this little trio of Grommet Cup, Aldrich and Fullenlow. Seb, I mean, he had a brilliant start, but now he seems to just be holding up the field behind him. Meanwhile, Dean Feenan looking for a move on Sully, but I think he is not going to be able to go down the inside there. Or is he actually? He's having a look. He's sending one up the inside. Oh, Sully leaves him plenty of space, which I think he didn't have to, but he was being very, very nice there to Dean. And Dean trying it round the outside into Tabak. No way that's gonna work. He's trying it everywhere now. Sufjan and Jules Valentine swapping places as well. What is going on here? Does Jules Valentine have wing damage? Yes, he has wing damage again. He just pitted for a fresh wing and he once again has wing damage. I saw wing flying there as well, as Grommet Cup is looking for a move on Seb. Whose wing was it? Do we see somebody going into the pit lane? No. So whoever just lost their wing there, the damage is significant enough to warrant a pit stop. But Seb is holding these guys up like crazy, and you can see 6 seconds gained in just 3 laps from the top 3. Time penalty for Sufjan, 3 seconds for him as well. We're seeing plenty of those. Yellow flags in sector 2. Those are for Jules Valentine, who's lost his entire front wing now. Meanwhile, Dean still looking at the back of that MP motorsport from Sully. As Jules Valentine gets himself a 3-second time penalty. Sully going very wide into the hairpin, and Phelan having a look up the inside, but no way he's ever gonna make that one work. As Comet Cup is still looking for a way past Seb. Yeah, he is clearly faster, but he just... On this track, you can't find a way past. As Jules Valentine is tired from the race, he seems to have crashed into the final corner. As Comet Cup dives one up the inside. That was not the cleanest of maneuvers, and he doesn't get past that way. He might have picked up some damage from that as well. He probably has. Yeah, look at that front wing. Do we see some damage actually? Oh, he almost runs into the back of Seb. Solely with a second time penalty already. Yeah, and you can see front right end plate missing for Common Cup. We've already got 2 time penalties with Sully, and Sully seems to have wing damage there as Dean takes the lead. After Sully has had contact with the wall, Sully into the pit lane, and that's his race lead gone. 2 penalties for him already up to 6 seconds of penalties. Oh, and now I've realized why Pixel of Chaos retired. They started in the harder component of tires, so that now they have to go on the softer one, on the super softs. And no way these super softs will last at the end of the race. Now I understand what's going on. That's gonna really cost them, because they probably have to 2-stop now if they have to pit this early. That is the danger of going for or starting on the harder component of tire. Especially here at Monaco, but everybody did it. Everybody's in the same boat. And yeah, seems like Sully, well, he's now on the super soft tire. I highly doubt that tire is gonna last for the rest of this race. Comet Cup still just looking for a way past Seb, but he is still stuck behind him. I mean, this has been the case since the opening rep. He Seb had an awesome race start. Sufjan is now retired in the pit lane as well, which is a bit frustrating to see so many drivers retiring in the pits. But now Comet Cup is so close behind him, but he just can't get the exit. I mean, clearly these two are holding. I mean, 12 seconds in the lead, or 12 seconds the gap to Sean Moole now in P2. Comet Cup is losing time. I'm not sure if Seb could go any faster. Look how much he's blocking him into the back. Going defensive there. As he hits the wall, wing damage for Seb. You can see a part of the wing flying off. Comet Cup gets a 3-second time penalty. Lots of track limit penalties today. I mean, Monaco seems to be very strict on the track limits. Contact made between Seb and Comet Cup. Comet Cup goes around the outside. Seb losing the car on exit and goes into the pit lane, finally releasing Comet Cup into clean air. But at this point, he's got wing damage. He has got 15 seconds of a gap. Surely Sean Moole and Dean are gone. 15 seconds in 5 laps. That battle between Seb and Comet Cup really cost both of them. As now Seb will be in the pit lane, pulling on super soft tires, and Sully flies past him, takes back P6. Closest battle now at this point, is Comet Cup, Follin and Aldrich fighting over P3 to P5. Although it's important to know, we've got 6 seconds of penalties for Comet Cup and Sully, but nobody else having penalties actually. These two seem to be struggling with the track limits, which might be, in Comet Cup case, it might be the issue of having wing damage. Heavy wing damage as well. As you can see, a big chunk of the right part of that front wing is missing, I believe. Yep, you can see, yeah, pretty much nothing is left. Everything is gone on the right hand side. Just a little plank at this point on the right hand side of that front wing. Yeah, not really getting a good look at it right now. As he hits the wall again, that will not be helping. And he's got some major understeer now. I think he might have just picked up even more damage on that front wing. Surely he has to pit now. Yeah, look at that front wing. There's nothing left on the right hand side. Will he pit? Yes, he will. He actually spins into the pit lane. That has got to be one of the coolest pit entries I've seen. Probably actually quite fast as well. I might have to try and copy that. Although it does seem dangerous with the pit limit speed. The pit speed. Yes, you know what I mean. The pit limit. So Sully takes over P5. We've got Comet Cup, Seb and Sully on the same strategy, having to pit early for super soft, with the rest of the field still going on their first set of softs, which will last them for quite a while. Although I don't think the super softs will last to the end, so those guys in the back are really in trouble. They are gonna have to make another pit stop. And they are still, well, they're 10 seconds behind. Well, Sully is 10 seconds behind Aldrich. Government Cup. Now with 11 seconds of penalties. How's he got a 5-second penalty for corner cutting? What corner have you cut that badly? Maybe he, what is he doing now? Is he slowing down? He seems to be slowing down. What is he doing? What is going on here between Government Cup and Seb? I mean, Government Cup slowed down. Is he trying to fight Seb? Is he wanting to have some fun in this race now? I mean, I guess, I guess it could be an idea. At this point, Government Cup's not really fighting for anything. Might as well have some fun with this race and battle with Seb once again. At least I hope that's what he's doing. We'll see what ends up coming of this. Oh, he's giving me some action because right now there's not much going on anywhere in the field, to be honest. This is what I fear at Monaco. The chaos often leads to massive gaps, as Seb has a little touch of the wall there. And you can see Government Cup has crashed! Government Cup is out of the race! Government Cup has crashed at the swimming pool section, losing part of his car there. Tire popping off, and Government Cup is out of the race, allowing Seb to move up into P6. Only 6 runners left after just 7 laps. These guys are dropping like flies today. I mean, how many are we going to have left by the end? I just want to know the real-life record is 4 classified finishers, I believe, at the 1996 Monaco Grand Prix, which is a race where Olivier Panis won in a lead year. Or was it lead year at that time? I think it was. So that was a pretty crazy race, and we only have 2 more runners left. I believe they actually had 3 cars running at the end, but 4 were classified. So a third car, fourth car had actually DNF'd shortly before the end of the race, or still counted as being classified. I think that's the story of that race. I'm not entirely sure. I don't have it completely in my mind, but it's certainly an interesting story. I think it's worth. Well, the race isn't actually that interesting to watch because nothing much happens. Just car after car parking somewhere or crashing somewhere. But it's certainly interesting to read about. And we are seeing a similar situation here. We just see cars stopping like flies. Yellow flags. Sully! The next car! There we go! I was just talking about it. Championship protagonist, the real Sully, has crashed somewhere as well. He's out of the race. We're down to 5 runners, which will allow Seb to move up into the 5. Maybe we can see where Sully's car is once Seb sees him as we go past Ruskas here. Sully's car should be somewhere here. What has Sully done? How has he ended up there? Has he crashed in the pit entry or something? That is a very, very weird crash. I mean, we are seeing chaos right now. I mean, we still have 13 laps to go. We only have 5 cars left running. Not even halfway into the race yet. You guys need to calm down a bit. Just look at those gaps. There's no point pushing. Well, apart from Aldrich and Fullerl, I guess. These 2 are fighting over a podium right now. At this point, actually, no penalties is involved as well, since all versus penalties actually crashed. And you can see how much these guys are lifting through there. Oh, and now the next car on the wall! Fullerl has some wing damage, but he can carry on. He has gotten very lucky there. We are seeing so many crash days. Surely he has to go into the pits, and yes, he does. It's gonna be a wing change for Fullerl. Not what you want to see. Yeah, drivers really struggling around the streets of Monaco. We'll hopefully be seeing better racing standards in F1. More consistency and drivers not crashing every single lap. Because, well, this is getting a bit ridiculous now. I don't really know what to look at this point. We've got Seb about a minute behind the field. Got Aldrich about a full pit stop behind Sean Moole. This has been a really chaotic race, and I think we're gonna see even more chaos as we aren't even at the halfway point. I think it's just gonna keep getting worse. Oh well, I guess with less cars on the track, it can only get better. As Sean Moole has tapped the barrier there at the swimming pool chicane. But he is carrying on, so doesn't have any significant run of wing damage. How close are we actually to the first car being lapped? This is Dean. Where's Seb? Has Seb already been lapped? Oh yeah, Seb has already been lapped. I didn't even notice. Yeah, Dean is actually pretty close to lapping his teammate now. His teammate is just in the tunnel and he is now coming into the hairpin. Yeah, I think we're gonna see pretty much everyone apart from the podium being a lap down at some point in this race. Dean is struggling on traction there on exit. But he is totally in command of this race. 9 seconds the gap to Sean Moole. So unless something crazy happens, he should take this race win home once again. I mean, it would be a second race win in a row for him. And probably put him into the championship lead as well. After just having done 2 races in the league. So he's been having an amazing debut, debut 2 race, I guess. And we see falling out in the pit lane, that will put him a lap down. Meanwhile, Seb getting his 3-second time penalty, which will further add to his pretty disappointing gap to the field right now. I mean, he is 37 seconds behind at the 3 seconds for the penalty, so 40 seconds behind. Not what he would have been hoping for. Follow leaving the pits, still in P4. On the super soft compound of tire. Right now we've got Dean, Sean Moole and Aldrich who haven't actually pitted yet, so I think those 3 are the ones who have actually kept it clean. Didn't get any damage, didn't get involved in any crashes. And that's why they are out front. They haven't had to pit yet for a new wing. They've just been able to drive away at the front on their nice soft compound tires, use them until they get worn out. And then they go into the pit lane and get super softs. Just don't crash pretty much, that's how to take the podium at this point. Fololol and Seb though, I mean, we might see these two fighting if Seb manages to catch up to Fololol. I guess we'll see if that can be a possibility in this race. Also interesting to see when we'll start seeing the first pit stops. Probably not yet, a few more laps maybe, before we start seeing drivers pit for those super soft tires. I'm expecting Dean to make an assault on the fast lap as well. I mean, what's the fast lap right now? 21.1 by Dean. Alright, well, he is quite some way faster than this in the field actually. So perhaps he doesn't really need to try and get a fast lap, he already has it pretty securely. Now with 9 laps to go, you can see the gaps just widening up. I don't think we'll be seeing much action in this race anymore, sadly. I have to admit, now the chaos is calmed down a bit, I can see the issue of having so much chaos at the start and just losing so many cars. Now that we are left with only 5 cars running, I mean half the grid is DNF'd. What happened to everyone? Yeah, pretty much everyone just crashed. That's Monaco, was to be expected realistically. I didn't think it would be this bad, but yeah, we've only got half the grid finishing right now, and we still have quite a few laps to go. I mean, hopefully all of these guys will make it to the finish line, because if we get any less, we will actually equal the real-life world record of 4 classified finishers. And if we go under that, that would be, well, very, very interesting. If we have less than 4 finishers. I don't really want to think about that, to be honest. I guess we'll just keep watching Dean go round and round. There's Sean Moole now, the first to make a proper scheduled, I assume, a proper scheduled pit stop, which was planned into his strategy. It seems like a reasonable time to make a first pit stop onto fresh tires. After 12 laps on the softs, going on to super softs, they should really last. I can see what's the pit crew for Aldrich? No, there was Seb's pit crew getting ready for a wing change and new tire as well. Will Aldrich come into pits? No, he won't. He's actually staying out for another lap, at least. Although it won't really matter, Sean Moole comes out ahead of him anyway. We've got Seb, a new front wing, leaving the pit lane now. Gap at the front now up to 35 seconds, although Dean actually hasn't pitted yet. Let's see, maybe it's time for him to pit on this lap. Or will he stay out from another one? Nope, he's pitting. There we go. The UNI Virtuoso driver getting some super soft tires and a wing change as well. Interesting. So he had picked up some wing damage at some point, which would have cost him some amount of performance. Will be very interesting to see how this impacts his lap times from here on out, if he can increase his gap to I mean, he was running away from the field with wing damage, which is very, very impressive. So yeah, he seems to be very comfortable around the streets of Monaco. Although he is just a really good driver in general, I have to say. So, there he goes, leaving the pit lane, keeping the lead from Sean Moole, although it has gotten a bit closer with Sean Moole having the undercut, and obviously the advantage of not having to change his wing. So now Aldrich goes into the pit lane as well. He will enter in P3 and probably exit in P3 as well, given where, yeah, Fullerall is just at the hairpin right now, so no way he's gonna get him. Unless he has a Bottas-style pit stop, which thankfully isn't actually simulated in the game. So yeah, there we go. Aldrich leaving the pits, and he will come out still on the podium, running in P3. Although he might see himself battling the lap car of Sepp here. Well, not really battling, I guess, being unlapped. Oh, no, actually no, he comes on ahead, just about. Gap with the front now down to 4 seconds, but Dean will be increasing that, so I wouldn't really get too excited about that one. I hate to say it, but I think this race is pretty much over at this point. I think everybody's just taking it easy now, bringing the car home, and happy with the points they have at this point, or at this moment in time. Nothing really to gain from pushing anymore. You're not going to catch a car ahead with those kinds of gaps. We can have a look at Dean's lap here, see if he can improve on his fast lap, which was previously a 121.1. So let's see how much faster he will definitely be able to go faster, I believe. Yellow flags in sector 2, those are for Sepp, who has had an incident at the chicane, but he's gotten going once again. Dean already up 3.5 tenths in the first sector. That would be plenty enough to improve on his fast lap by surely more than enough to keep it safe from others. And once again would give him the full maximum points for pole, fast lap and race minutes. Aldrich in the pit lane again! Second pit stop for Aldrich in 2 laps and a wing change. Will this put Fullerall in contention for the podium once again? It could. It could. Although I think Aldrich will just about be fine. But he can't allow himself to make any more mistakes now. As now definitely Fullerall is inside his pit window. So, sorry, Aldrich has to pit again. He's gonna be in trouble. So now Dean rounds the final corner. What's his lap time gonna be? Previous best was a 21.1. It's Aldrich as a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. 19.2. Gaining almost 2 seconds. There we go. This is the power of super soft tires. That's just so much faster. There's also Aldrich. Let's get a 3.8 second gap to Fullerall. With a time penalty as well. So maybe the 5-lap podium is back on between those two. Although Aldrich gets much fresher tires. 5-lap fresher tires. Expect him to take the podium. And there we go. We're down to 5 drivers. Sepp has crashed at the Noble Chicane just after the tunnel. Let's go on board with Aldrich, as he will be the first car to pass that. And see what has happened to Sepp, where he's parked his car. Or what he has done to his car. Oh no, his car's despawned, sorry, we can't actually see it. But he crashed somewhere around here. So we're now down to just 4 runners in the Monaco Grand Prix here. With Fullerall actually being lapped by his teammate right now. I was confused why he was ghosting. I thought at first he might have been disconnected from the session, but he isn't. He is just being lapped. Which is, well, in a 21 lap race, to see somebody getting lapped, that is something you don't see every day. So yeah, Dean really putting on a show today. Well, not really a show, just an amazing performance. A show would be, well, maybe him waiting for Sean Moole or something. Trying to make it interesting, but this is definitely not much of an interesting race. So yeah, I guess that's exactly what Dean wants, I guess, for his sake. Driving away at the front, pretty much unchallenged. And at this point, he will probably lap Aldrich as well. So yeah, he's gonna put Everyone apart from P2 a lap down this race, I'm pretty sure. As he is not far behind the Charus. I think his Aldrich's driving is Charus. I can check the driver laps, what's going on anyway. Yes indeed, Charus, got it right. So yeah, Dean will probably lap the Charus of Aldrich in his UNI virtuosi at some point in the next few laps. I mean, we're actually almost done with the race now. I have to admit, it's yeah, not been the best of races. I've said it a few times. I'm running out of things to say, really. As Dean almost loses it there, that would be a big shame now if he actually loses it and loses the race to Sean Moole. He's only got a 10-second gap, so if he does make a big mistake, he is in trouble. He cannot allow himself to make any major mistakes. He can allow himself a few slides, maybe a penalty as well. But no spins, no crashes, none of that. As Dean has now gotten past Aldrich, who lets him through very, what's the word? Well, just the way you're supposed to. He goes off the racing line, goes off the gas, and lets him through before the corner. Trying not to distract him at all. It seems like Folalol's attempt at the podium are in vain, as he's dropping lots and lots of time here. Probably, or at least partly, I would say, due to the massive tire advantage Aldrich has. I mean, he's got a 5-lap tire advantage, which doesn't sound like much, but you have to think 5 laps in a 21-lap race, and these super softs do not last long. As Folalol hits the wall, he's gotten some wing damage there on the front left. You could see the end plate missing. That's gonna cost him some performance. Not sure if it was caused by the contact with the barrier just in the swimming pool, not swimming pool, in the tunnel, sorry, or if he had that before already. But he certainly won't be happy about that one. Sean Moole is now coming up to lap 4 as well. Almost loses it off the last corner, as we now only have 2.5 laps to go, almost 3, in this Monaco Grand Prix. And well, we are seeing an absolutely outstanding drive from Dean. Totally commanding this race. Just pretty much unchallenged. He was challenged to start by Sully until he made a mistake and let himself be overtaken. And eventually crashed himself out the race as well. So yeah, big shame that we've once again seen lots of title contenders having issues today. We've had Alex not turn up for the, or not being able to turn up for the race. We've got Gromit Cup and Sully DNFing. We've got, well, Sean Moole is actually doing pretty well running in P2. Dean in P1 obviously. Aldrich in P3 as well. Those three, they may not, oh well, Sean Moole and Aldrich at least, they may not be on the same pace as the likes of Sully are in the qualifying session, but then come the race, with superior consistency, they've been able to actually put themselves ahead in the standings. And once again, consistency proves to be key, which, especially at Monaco, I expected. So now Folalol gets a 15 time penalty, which negates any advantage that he would have had from Aldrich's penalty from earlier on. As Sean Moole goes into the pit lane, what is he planning to do? Fresh set of tires? An assault at the fastest lap perhaps? He would have to gain almost 2 seconds. Surely that won't work. I mean, fresh tires do make a big difference, but not that big. I guess it's worth a try for him. He doesn't lose anything from this. Well, unless he bends it trying to get fast lap, which hopefully I haven't jinxed him now. If I have, I'm very, very sorry. So yeah, Sean Moole leaving the pits, obviously still in P2, on fresh, super soft compound tires. With only 2 laps to go, so he'll be on his hot lap on the last lap of the race. And I mean, just look at those gaps. 34 seconds to P2, and a full lap to P4 and P3. Rest of the field is DNF'd. What a drive from Dean. He can be very, very proud of himself for this one, as he's now gonna start his final lap. I mean, well, he's just coming out the final corner of his second to last lap. And there we go, Dean now starting the final lap here at the Monaco Grand Prix. It has been an awesome race from him. just all around perfect, I would say. Pretty much faultless, while everybody else was losing their heads, putting it in the barrier, losing their wheels, being unable to continue, or even just retiring in the pit lane. He just kept going. He didn't get any wing damage, or well, he did, but he didn't get any major wing damage, which cost him the race. He didn't spin, he didn't crash out. He did exactly what he was supposed to do, and control the race from the front in a absolutely brilliant way, I have to admit. So he is proven once again, after last week, that he cannot be, well, should be a known entity when you're trying to go for the race win. You should have him in mind as one of your main competitors. And he is gunning for that title in the Formula 2 division. So now go into the final sector with Dean one more time through this awesome swimming pool section, which actually isn't quite as satisfying in Formula 2 cars as it is in F1. As he almost loses the car there, but he manages to collect it and just keep going. 37-second gap in the end. Already celebrating before he's even coming around the final corner. And he's earned it! What a drive from NLR, Dean Finnan, for you and I virtuosi here at the Monaco Grand Prix. Weaving all the way across the start finish straight, takes the checkered flag, and with that, takes the race win. Aldrich will come home in P3 now, a lap down, and Full Lol also a lap down, will come home in P4. Also have to congratulate those guys for even just finishing the race. Most drivers haven't managed to do it. Now Sean Moole on his fast lap attempt, can he beat Dean Finnan's lap time? I expect him not to be able to do it. He would have to gain a big amount of time, and he is weaving and accelerating, so obviously not. Sean Moole finishes in second place here at the Monaco Grand Prix. And, well, that was quite the interesting race. We had... well, the start was amazing. Lots of fun. But, well, once we had a lot of cars actually having Dean F to race, there wasn't much going on anymore. And there we go, Dean lifting the trophy there. Pretty much a faultless race from him. And a very well deserved race win here at the Monaco Grand Prix. And there we go, full race classifications. Dean taking pole, fast lap and race win once again, just as he did last week. He has been dominant in these last 2 weeks of RRL F2. And once again takes him the full 31 points here at Monaco, with Sean Moole in second place and Aldrich in P3 completing the podium. Full the last race finisher in P4. And then we've got Seb, Sully, Gomet Cup, Sufjan, Gilles Velden and Pixel of Chaos all having DNF in the race. So they will be quite disappointed with that. And hopefully we'll be seeing better finishing rates next week at the Imola Grand Prix. And also, of course, at the Formula 1 race on Sunday here at Monaco. So yeah, see you on Sunday for F1 and next Tuesday for F2 at Imola. Bye bye.